Good morning, all. Looking at December corn here. December corn is up 4 in the overnight at 497.5. We had a really nice bounce on Friday. We had talked about, I thought that could be it for corn, that it needed to be it in the short term. Did not want to see it take out that low from last Thursday of 483, and it did not disappoint. Bounced right out of there, closed just below the 5-day, but have pushed above it in the overnight tonight. So looks good in the short term. Concerns though, right now are we have a report tomorrow, right? Kind of the first new crop production projections in this May report. That makes me nervous. It makes me nervous that we're kind of bouncing out of this real quick. I'd like to see a little bit of choppiness, some stability. This looks okay with some separation here, but I don't know. This just makes me nervous. I don't want to see this very quickly jump back up to this high, especially if you do that today and then tomorrow's report's negative. Makes me really nervous for what potentially we could have moving forward here, and the potential that we've seen our highest price. I don't think that you have enough information to make that call right now today, but we certainly are late enough in the year. We certainly have enough potential acres. So those things make me nervous if that stuff follows through fundamentally tomorrow. But I obviously have no idea what's coming tomorrow. So we'll have to see what that information is. But I'm certainly going to be cautious if we get back up above $5 here before the report comes out tomorrow. And I'm certainly going to be questioning, do I need to go ahead and take some more risk off the table here? How do I do that, right? That's something I'm going to be watching really closely as we move into tomorrow and get closer to that report time. So in the short term, would like to see the 5-day hold up as support, 494 3/4. Then the overnight low, 493. If you can get up and take out these highs here, which are just below $5, which is kind of that mental barrier, and you can close above that, then I would guess there's a really good shot that we re-challenge that high of 505 3/4. But again, none of this really matters from a technical standpoint if that information tomorrow is surprising, right? So this is where technicals can get thrown out the window just a little bit. Sometimes it'll show you some things that it's anticipating or it already knows is going to take place, and maybe that's what we're seeing, right? Maybe it knows it's going to get some friendly information tomorrow, and people are getting some buying in ahead of time because the funds are certainly involved in this. They took advantage of this break, and they've pumped it up since that point in time. So could certainly be that. So those are the things that you just you don't know, but you just have to be cautious on and make sure that you're in the right position so that the information can't hurt you as we go into tomorrow. So anyway, short term technicals are a little iffy because we have that report tomorrow. We're not overbought. We got down to the halfway mark on the RSI, so the funds took advantage and we've pumped it up the last 2 days. All right. Moving on to soybeans. They are even stronger, re-challenging the highs. They're up 11 1/4 at just above 12. They're at 12 3/4 in the overnight. That takes out that high, so we have poked through that high. This is a little bit nerve-wracking because when you take out this high, but the RSI hasn't had time to play catch-up, then you have a divergent situation. So if you have any type of a rollover, any type of negativity, that comes today, tomorrow because of that report, that puts in the ability for a longer term break. So that's a little bit concerning. Plus the RSI didn't really go as low as corn did, so you don't have as much room from an overbought condition. But you do have good separation here for lingering upside momentum next 1 to 3 days. Support was the overnight, or was the 5-day in the overnight. Hopefully, that's something that holds. So we're looking at support around the 1188 mark, and resistance is right here up into these highs. And I would say, if you look at old crop, you're looking somewhere in the 1220, 1225 range, and old crop's sitting at, July's already at 1222 essentially. So looking in that range there as the next resistance, about 4 to 5 cents above where we are today. Get back on beans here. So looks good, looks strong, but again, report tomorrow. Don't know what that's going to show us. They certainly took advantage of this break going into this time frame, and want to be long beans going into this. Hopefully they don't get something surprising to take that away. Volume looks good, especially last week. Nice big volume day on that move higher where we closed up 16 on Friday. So looks good in the short term. Both markets do from a technical standpoint. A little bit concerned with how quickly they came up, and then obviously concerned that technicals take a back seat when it comes to big fundamental moves like we could have tomorrow if they get surprising information in those reports or in that report. So we'll have to watch for that. You have to look at this and take care of yourself as you go into that day. If the market's in a place where you need to play catch up, protect yourself. All right, everybody have a great day. We'll watch the action and we'll talk to you tomorrow.